So welcome to Skywagons University for another plane. This time we've got a pretty rare one. I've only ever had two of these ever in 30 years. And it's a Wren 460, which is basically a 65 182 with a canard on the front, more about that, a 520 engine, a big nasty MT carbon fiber composite 3-blade prop on it, oversized gear, and a lot of modifications on its airframe, mainly wing, very, very modified on the wing. It has 4 ailerons and it has 4 flaps. So if we work around the plane, the front obviously this is very interesting because it's got a canard and that moves as a control surfaces opposite to the horizontal stabilizer. But the main thing, because it has incredible stall capabilities. I mean, this thing will land and take off at airspeeds that you daren't try. But when you get used to it, it's amazing. So if you come back and look at the wing, there's a lot of... I will actually go in and lower the flaps, but I'll show you here. On top of the wing, those are called Wren's teeth, and they move with the ailerons at low airspeed to direct the airflow over your 1, 2 ailerons and 1, 2 flaps over there. And you can see all this fandangery under the wing, these actuators that pull them down. So let me put the flaps down. On. So look at that. It's a completely different flap from Cessna's flap, and there's another one. They're all lift too, they never drag. And then it's all ailerons that are up down at the same time as the flaps, so it's like a Super Robertson, drooping ailerons. And when you move the ailerons, see the Wren's teeth on top? They move to direct the inordinately slow flow of air over the wing and down onto the flaps, ailerons. And the air also comes through here. So these are lifting bodies as well. So this plane, I mean, there's not a lot left of its original Cessna wing, except the span and the rough shape of it. But this plane will take off and land at, I mean, no joke, it's 30 knots. And it will elevate. The canard keeps it very level, so it doesn't take off and climb like it's feeling. It takes off level. And they only made, well, there's rumors, they made like between 30 and 40 of these in the 60s. They're always 64, 65s. And actually, I said earlier this was a 65. It's a 64, but that doesn't really make any difference. And there's a few other things back here on them. It's got... the horizontal stabilizer has got a bit missing off the end, and the counterweight that would normally end here has been added to, so you've got more counterweight. So there's a lot of little different things on it. And if you watch the canard on the front while I move the elevator on the back, as the elevator comes up, the canard goes down. So you can't actually stall it. It'll push the nose down for you. You can literally take off with full throttle and yoke fully back, and it will elevate off the ground. So it has all the characteristics of a normal 182, like, you know, it'll do 100, well, slightly bigger tires and a bit more drag. It'll do 122, 3 knots. It'll carry the normal 1,000, 1,100 pounds. It doesn't have the 470 in it anymore. It's got, the standard conversion for this plane is an injected IO 470 at 260 horse. This has a P-Ponk 520 in it, which is 270 horsepower but carbureted. So it's even more engine. It's even more engine, so it's even better than when it was originally designed. It has 65 gallons. They were available with 84, but I think that designing them as a STOL plane, they were going to be more short distance, not long cross-country planes, so they kept them as just a 65. Inside, it's very much a normal 182. It's got a nice modern manifold pressure, RPM, oil temp, oil pressure, fuel flow, fuel, you know, vacuum. This replaces all the usual old instruments that would have been here. And it's not part of it being a Wren, that's just being modernized. And then up here you've got a usual audio panel, a navcom, and an ADS-B in and out transponder. But the flaps are very close to the throttle, so you can actually be running them as you're flying the plane along and short fielding it. And if you look over there on that flap stanchion, they're the increments of the flaps. So as I put them up, relative to a fairing that's not on it, you can see your flap position. But basically you take off and land with full flaps, which are more like an aileron actually, because they're not drag. So yeah, this is a kind of unique plane. If you need stall and you don't want a tail wheel, this thing will take off and land like a Super Cub, but it'll do it with 4 people and 65 gallons of gas and all your luggage in it. And it'll burn about 14 gallons an hour and do about 123 knots. Very useful plane. So that's it for this quick video of this plane from Skywagon University. Subscribe on the little button below on the screen. We're going to be doing a lot of these videos on different planes as they come and go. So thanks very much for watching. This is Mark at Skywagons University signing off.